Hello, and welcome back to Frugal Gamer. Today I want to list 5 more investment items for you to purchase today. Now, all of these items will save you money on one thing or another. Some of them you might even be able to save on multiple things, but we will talk about that later. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with number 1, which is LED light bulbs. Now, LED light bulbs, the reason that these will save you money is because when you are sitting there and you leave your electronics plugged in, including your lamps and whatnot, when you turn them on, yes, some of them will, when you first turn them on, be dull, but they get a hell of a lot brighter, so therefore they can actually expand across the room a lot better, and they don't use as much energy. That whole going from dim to super brighter than your regular light bulbs, this basically means that you're not going to have to put on or turn on so many lights. Not only that, but you are also saving money on your electric bill. Even more because you're still using less energy, even with the one lamp. Even if you had to turn on all those other lamps and lights and whatnot, it wouldn't matter because you're still going to be saving on both of those accounts. Well, I guess it ultimately does depend on what kind of LED light bulbs. For example, the brand really matters when you are looking into buying something. For example, I actually bought some rolled oats, and it was Red Mills, and I actually just recently found out their oats are contaminated with I forget what it was, but it was basically a poison for humans, and a lot of people have actually sued them over it. So it really does depend on the brand, not only with quality, but if they're going to do their job well enough. So certain LED light bulbs work better than others. Some of them are more energy efficient, some of them aren't. It really just depends on you and where you go for them, as well as the specified brand that you end up buying and using. Number 2 is going to be a water purifier. Now, the reason I say that this will save money is because if you just spend $35 on getting a water purifier for your faucet, that way you can just drink tap water that's actually purified rather than going out and spending money on water bottles, or maybe you're going out and spending money on juices. And if you get this water purifier, what this will allow you to do is not only make it to where your water is healthier to drink, but also you won't have to worry about high pH levels in certain waters, because there are certain brands that actually have high pH levels. Like, I think Aquafina was one of the ones that were, like, really bad. I think that was, like, the 3rd worst one out of the, like, 11 or 12 that Crazy Russian Hacker tested. That is, if I'm remembering correctly. But, yeah, if you buy a water purifier, you will have much healthier water. Not only that, but instead of buying a whole bunch of juices, what you can do is you can just buy the little packets. Those are going to be a lot cheaper than the actual juices, and then you can just put it in your water, you stir it up, and then you're good. You don't have to pay money on the water bottles anymore. Your water is much healthier. The juices might even be healthier when you're using the packets instead of the actual juices. Of course, like I said earlier, it does depend on the brand and what you actually use and consume and whatnot. But water purifier is definitely a money saver, no matter what way you look at it, unless you are totally fine with just drinking tap water and you have no problem whatsoever with doing so. Or you drink tea, so you boil out the stuff in the water anyways. whatever your situation is really going to depend on if a water purifier is really for you or not. But number 3 is going to be a bicycle. Now, first thing is first, obviously you're going to save on transportation, because instead of driving to that friend's place, not across the street, but across the city, you can easily ride your bike if it's a small enough city. So for you, if you say live in New York or something like that, it may end up being better to just go by bus. But of course, it does depend on your occupation as well as to if this is going to actually be a money saver or not. Because if you work from home, you may be able to just save more money with taking the bus every time you have to go shopping or whatever the case is. But I would still recommend getting a bike just because it also saves on medical bills. How it saves on medical bills is that when you are getting out and biking, you are actually exercising without knowing it, and you're also going and taking care of some stuff that you need to take care of, most likely. Especially if you're still trying to get your life together, you were more than likely going to be using that bike to actually go to like the city hall in your area or whatever the case may be. Or maybe you go to library or, whatever the case may be for you. A bicycle will help save in those two aspects. And you will also be with a bicycle, you will also be saving more on electricity. Now, not many people think about this aspect of it, but because you're going to be biking, you're spending more time outside than you would if you were just in a car. Yes, switching from a car to a bike may cost you more time, but that time is you getting your medical or your health status an upgrade, because you're doing all that exercising and whatnot. But bicycling, spending that time is also saving you money on electricity, because you're not watching TV while you're biking, or you're not charging, or you're not using a whole bunch of lights, or if you are, you're wasting money. Stop that habit. But the point that I'm trying to make is that even though you are spending more time outside, that is actually more of a good thing than it is a bad thing in two different aspects. And on top of that, you save money on transportation costs because you don't have to pay gas, and the repairs are less complicated and therefore cheaper. Plus, there's less components, which also makes it cheaper. But number 4 is going to be board games. Now, the reason that I mentioned board games is because with board games, what you can do is you can, for example, if you play dominoes or Monopoly or even Risk or something like that, you could sit down with your family or your husband or your wife or, whoever you are and whatever your household situation is. If you grab all or at least most of the household and you play board games, you guys are less likely to use electricity. The most electricity you will be using is probably a light and some music, if that. But you're likely not going to be having music on. But board games will help you save with that, and on top of that, it is free entertainment after you buy it. The only thing you have to worry about is wear and tear. And then number 5 is going to be a toolkit. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of toolkit. It really doesn't. Whatever specified toolkit you end up buying, you have to make sure that that is what you actually work on. That is the tricky part with a toolkit. For example, I bought a home improvement toolkit in hopes of being able to fix my vehicle, but at the same time, I also wanted to do home improvement, so either way, it was still a win-win for me. Even though, the purpose I bought it for wasn't actually what it ended up being the purpose for, but that's okay, because I still wanted to do home improvement and whatnot. I now have shelves and stuff like that, so I'm good on that. But Yeah, toolkits will help you to save on home improvement because you are not paying somebody to come in and do it, which can and will cost you hundreds and even up to thousands of dollars. Toolkit will also help you to make repairs and whatnot, and if you're a gamer, it can actually help you to save money on consoles and console repair and whatnot. You can clean it out, and therefore it's going to last a lot longer, and on top of that, you are likely going to be able to clean a lot of other things and be able to make it last a lot longer with other stuff. Alright, now that I'm done with that, oh, and with the toolkit, if you're repairing stuff, you're less likely to use more energy for your electricity bill as well. But, that was pretty much it for this list. This was 5 more investment items to purchase today. Now, if you have any disagreements or you have any suggestions that I could, improve on or anything like that, whether it's something in this list or not, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, please. I love to interact with you guys. A lot of you guys tend to private message me, though. Please, please, please comment down below so other people can see your argument and opinion, and maybe some other people will agree with you that I don't know about, and I can actually see things from a much better perspective as a creator if you comment and other people can actually engage with your comment. But yeah, and then go ahead and like this video if you liked it, or you're trying to, or you started to use some of these and it's helped you, or whatever the case may be. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe, please subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.